All right, well, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Johnston Square. This is the 6th Together We Serve 9/11 Day of Service. And I'm Scott Goldman. I'm the Executive Director of the 6th Branch. And I'm honored to be here to share and introduce our guests and talk about the day just for a moment. You know, we were founded by veterans committed to the idea that you can serve your country by serving your city. And thank you. And I know that's the spirit that brought all of you here today too. So first, just a couple administrative announcements. If you haven't registered, please register, get your t-shirt, get your gloves, get your assignment. Second, be safe today. Have fun, listen to your team captains. And third, thank you. Thank you for being here and for taking a day of, helping us take a day that's one of loss and mourning and memory and commemorating it with service and good work. So with that, I'm honored to introduce our first guest and speaker and to thank all of our partners, our Senator, Chris Van Hollen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. It is an honor to join the 6th Branch and all of you for the 6th annual Together We Serve gathering to do good works in our community. It is a privilege to be here with the great mayor of the city of Baltimore, Mayor Catherine Pugh, and all these terrific elected officials, community leaders, business partners, and a sea of purple volunteers. Let's give it up for all the volunteers who came out today. Are you ready to get to work in the community? Are you willing to get to work here in East Baltimore to make sure that this part of the city comes back and is as vibrant and meets all the potential that it has? Are you ready? All right. You know, I remember, as I'm sure all of you do, 16 years ago, the morning that we woke up was a day really just like today. It was clear, the sun was coming down, a little bit crisp, you could feel the fall coming in, and that peaceful, beautiful day was shattered when we had people committing evil acts up at the World Trade Center, Pentagon, Pennsylvania. But what marked that day was the fact that even though the people who committed those acts wanted to divide us, that was the mission, Americans came together and helped one another. Those pictures of the first responders in New York City and other places running up the buildings while others were coming down, people who literally sacrificed their lives for others on that day. So it is very fitting that we're gathered here today to remember the victims of 9/11 by reaching out to help our neighbors and reaching out to help our fellow Americans. And we've been seeing a lot of that just recently, over the last couple weeks and last couple days, and even today as we gather here in response to Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, people coming together to help one another. And that is what makes a community, that's what makes a strong city. And if you look at many of the folks who are reaching out down in response to the hurricanes, you find a lot of our veterans taking the lead, a lot of our veterans putting their skills together. So to Scott and all the members of the 6th Branch, thank you very much. Thank you, veterans who've come together in this community to put your skills together and bring together an army of people who want to do good works right here in our community. And I look out today and you've got a lot of folks who can do a lot of good work today and over the next 365 days. And I'll just close with this because Scott and the veterans and all of us know this. Military campaigns have their one-day battles, but they also are won and lost about having a sustained commitment to the mission and the goal. And so what is great about the 6th Branch is that they bring an army of people together on this important day, but they also have people working in our communities, for our schools, and for our neighborhoods all the other 365 days of the year. So I want to ask all of you who have been good enough to come out today to continue to answer the call from the 6th branch to help our neighbors, to help our schools, to make sure that East Baltimore and the city of Baltimore can continue to grow and prosper and meet its full potential. This is a great city, but it can be made greater by the good works of all of you. So thank you for being here. God bless you, and thank you to the 6th branch.
Thank you, Senator. Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Thank you. I tell you, I'm so excited. First, Chris, thank you so much for being such a great senator. And I want to say to you all, I've been moving around the city. There's so many days of service volunteers moving around Baltimore, and that's what makes our city great. All of us working together. I tell folks, while we are a city with challenges, we are a city of great people who recognize that when we lift the least, we lift all of us. And that the more we work together, the greater our city will become. And so, Scott, I just wanted to present this citation. I'm not going to read it, but it's one of those mayor's citations that says, continue to do great work. Let's give him another round of applause. I'm really honored to be here, just to see so many great faces, people from all over our city and all over this area who say, our city matters. Our community matters. You can see me stand on my toes. I'm so used to being in high heels. But I'm just reminded of how great our city is. And I think about our first responders who willingly step up into harm's way daily to save and protect the lives of our citizens. I also recognize that our city is facing challenges as it relates to revitalizing our police department. And I can tell you that we have some great individuals, but if you've had the opportunity, like I've had, to go out on calls and to visit the various districts, you would know how short we are in terms of the number of police officers that are currently serving our city. So I am committed not just to upgrade our police department, to provide them with the technology that they need, but also to increase the force so that they can continue to do their jobs. I know that it is rigorous when we walk around our city and we face the challenges that we do, but I know it is the combination of all of us. And so I wanted to express my gratitude to the 6th branch, which was founded by post 9/11, generations of veterans which continue to be led by veterans. But this is a day of remembrance, and I too remember 9/11. I also get up very early on 9/11 because, as my sister says, no one can ever forget my birthday. So I did call her early this morning and sang happy birthday to her, but also to remind her of why it is important for all of us to be of service on a day like this, and to remember that each and every one of us are important. So I want to thank my councilman and my delegate for being here and recognizing that we play a very important role. I just left over York Road, where we're going to be revitalizing 12 houses in our city, and talking with the State Secretary of Housing and Community Development, who's provided the city with some $29 million to tear down boarded-up houses. And this is what I've said. I've said this, and I keep on saying this. Sue me. Too many houses have been boarded up for too many years in this city. Tear them down so we can rebuild our neighborhoods in our communities. We have money to do so. There's no excuse. Let's just do the work. And so, again, thank you all for the purple shirts, for the volunteerism, and more importantly, for caring about our city and caring about each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Delegate Corey McCray.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? One of the things that I think about early this morning as I was coming down the street, I was thinking that service is one of the greatest gifts that we have. Service is one of the greatest joys that we have. And as I think about all those that sacrificed their life on September 11th, sacrificing their life in serving our communities, I think about those veterans that serve our country very, very, very proudly, and put their lives on the line. I think about those veterans that not only serve our country, but also come back home and serve our community. So thank you to the 6th branch. Thank you to the past executive directors. I remember the first day of service with Rich Moore, the third day of service with Dave Landymore, and so many others. So Scott, I just thank you for continuing on that legacy. As I look over to the left, I can see Miss Bonnie Downing shaking her head because we know that this wasn't the first one. And we know that Care First has always been on the ground in our community, and that's one of the greatest things. So thank you, and thank you to the Care First community. Thank you to our United States Senator. Thank you to our mayor, because they know that service is so important, and they're committed to service. Thank you to everyone in here with these purple shirts on, the purple shirts on, committing their time and day when they can be somewhere else. Thank you, because you know that that level of commitment to service is so important to our communities. And as I look over to my left, I think about Miss Regina Hammond, and I don't see your husband, Miss Regina, but I know Mr. Keith somewhere in here. But they're right here in this footprint. They are Johnson Square. I think the community meeting might even be tonight, Miss Regina. But they're here every day, making sure that they can lift up our communities. So I always say to folks, when we can yell about the high level of poverty, when we can yell about failing schools, when we can yell about crime, when we can yell about failing infrastructure, when we can yell about lack of recreation and youth jobs, the true question is, God has given us all talents. God has given us all talents, and what are we doing to serve others? I'm going to leave as the quote that I think about. Muhammad Ali said, "The service you pay is our rent here on earth." Thank you, thank you, thank you for your commitment to serving others.
Thank you, Delegate McCrae. Councilman Robert Stokes, please.
Good morning. First, I want to thank honor to God for giving me the opportunity to be here. Scott, I want to thank you for the wonderful organizing and pulling this together. I think this is wonderful, and you should give all yourself a round of applause. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak on this 16th anniversary of 911. I'm sure we all remember where we were that day, but I'm not going to dwell on the pain. Today is a day that reflects and honors those who lost their lives. I appreciate how the 6th branch organized today's service, 911 Day of Service. They do wonderful things in this community. Gardening, community cleanup, creative projects together that bring neighbors together. The work being done in Johnson Square is a great example of how other communities who do effective partnership, dedicated residents and volunteers. But I just want to mention the day of service is wonderful. This is great, but we should have a day of service every day so we can bring all communities together, because we have a lot of silos in our community as far as community associations working together. So I will be talking to Mr. Scott Goldman, because we need to make sure we do this not just in Johnson Square and Oliver and Broadway East and all over the city, so that we can make sure that all neighbors particularly in their communities, know each other. So again, I'm honored, and thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Now, the president of our neighborhood association, Ms. Regina Hammond.
Hey, Regina. Good. Oh, I'm kind of a little short. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am so excited. A lot of you have been here before helping us, and I want to give you a quick report that your work that you have done with us over the last 4 years has not gone in vain. We've taken care of what you started for us. We now have houses, if you haven't noticed, right up behind you. They're being gutted out now. We're going to have some new houses soon. And you know why that is? Because people like you came to Johnson Square and helped us clean up, helped us revitalize, helped us rebuild, and let our partners at the city know, let our partners know in the neighborhood that we can do great things together. Right down this end, I want you to know that the fences will be going up this year. Matter of fact, probably this week. We're going to revitalize Ambrose Kennedy Park. And I know a lot of you guys were working there in the last couple of years to help us keep it clean until we could get to the point. We got the funds. The park is going to get a splash pad. The park is going to get a new basketball court. These are things that the kids in this area needed. The school right here behind us, the school is getting great services. They're getting backpacks today. They're getting new painting done. Art in the Park is doing the art programs. And if you notice when you came up Biddle Street, there's a beautiful Johnson Square mosaic sign that we got from Art with the Heart. We're going to beautify that and make that even better in another project. But I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for all your volunteer hours, and definitely the partnerships with the 6th branch, the city agencies, and people like you who really care have made a dream come true, and let the people of Johnson Square know that it doesn't take much to make great positive changes in a community, and we can do this one neighborhood at a time. Thank you all and have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gina. Principal Braxton from Johnson Square Elementary, right here.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the veterans and the volunteers. Johnson Square, rebuild Johnson Square, and 6th Branch has been a tremendous asset to transforming the school. I took over this school about 5 years ago. It was a rough place. It was white walls and green lockers and no after-school programs and different things that we haven't had. But thanks to the 6th Branch work, the building's completely painted out. We have one piece of part that you guys are going to work on today, which is the auditorium. So thank you so much for that. We put in after-school programs. There's one-to-one iPads for the kids. We've done tremendous work through your partnerships through the Rebuild Johnson Square and through the 6th Branch. So again, I want to thank you guys for your day of service and continue to come and join us in this great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal. And I'd like to introduce Kirsten Allen, the founder of Meraki Community Uplift and our partner in Oliver.
Good morning, everyone. That's first, I would like to pay homage to all the veterans that serve, all the families that were impacted by 9/11 because they continually incur the pain that occurred on that day. I am Kirsten Allen, partner with 6th Branch. The organization has been remarkable for us. They already had the farm at Preston and Bond. We started another site on Bethel side. It was just another vacant lot, another blighted area that nobody saw value in. We went in, we're transforming it with the partnership of Civic Works. We now have 20 plant bed on that side. The farm has become a way for us to not only meet the challenge of having a food desert in the Oliver community, but it's also become a way for us to sustain our organization. So we started having food stands every Monday where we're selling the food. The proceeds go directly back to our organizations, but it's meeting the needs of the community. I could not have done it without the 6th Branch, the volunteers that come out every Friday or service days that we have. So I appreciate you all. Continue to come out. It's a lot of work. I don't even like dirt. But who knew that the little girl from East Baltimore would be helping 6th Branch to run a farm? So I'm appreciative. I thank you and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Kirsten. All right, one more round of applause for all our speakers and guests. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. All right. First, let me say one last thank you, and I appreciate all the kind words for the 6th Branch, but I and the 6th Branch, we are just handsome figureheads to a massive amount of effort that really, you look at that sign, you look at the back of your shirts, there was a huge team, a huge committee that really put a lot of work into this. And I just want to thank everyone for doing that and all our corporate partners, all our community partners. So thank you all.